Welcome back to another in our great chapters of the Bible. Our chapter today is Numbers chapter 11. The Israelites murmur and complain. Beginning in verse 1. And the people complained in the hearing of the Lord about their misfortunes. And when the Lord heard it, his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed some outlying parts of the camp. Then the people cried out to Moses, and Moses prayed to the Lord, and the fire died down. So the name of that place was called Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burned among them. Now the rabble that was among them had a strong craving, and the people of Israel also wept again and said, Oh, that we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt that cost nothing, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our strength is dried up, and there is nothing at all but this manna to look at. Now the manna was like coriander seed, and its appearance was like that of bdellium. The people went about and gathered it, and ground it in handmills, or beat it in the mortars, and boiled it in pots, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was like the taste of cakes baked with oil. When the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell with it. Moses heard the people weeping throughout their clans, every one at the door of his tent. And the anger of the Lord blazed hotly, and Moses was displeased. Moses said to the Lord, Why have you dealt ill with your servant? And why have I not found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people on me? Did I conceive all this people? Did I give them birth, that you should say to me, Carry them in your bosom, as a nurse carries a nursing child, to the land that you swore to give their fathers? Where am I to get meat to give to all this people? For they weep before me and say, Give us meat that we may eat. I'm not able to carry all this people alone. The burden is too heavy for me. If you'll treat me like this, kill me at once, if I find favor in your sight, that I may not see my wretchedness. Then the Lord said to Moses, Gather for me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of meeting, and let them take their stand there with you. And I will come down and talk with you there. And I will take some of the Spirit that is on you and put it on them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with you, so that you may not bear it all yourself alone. And say to the people, Consecrate yourselves for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat. For you have wept in the hearing of the Lord, saying, Who will give us meat to eat? For it was better for us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you meat, and you shall eat. You shall not eat just 1 day, or 2 days, or 5 days, or 10 days, or 20 days, but a whole month, until it comes out at your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you, because you have rejected the Lord who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we come out of Egypt? But Moses said, The people among whom I am number 600,000 on foot. And you have said, I will give them meat, that they may eat a whole month. Shall flocks and herds be slaughtered for them, and be enough for them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, and be enough for them? And the Lord said to Moses, Is the Lord's hand shortened? Now you shall see whether my word will come true for you or not. So Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord. And he gathered 70 men of the elders of the people, and placed them around the tent. Then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to him, and took some of the Spirit that was on him, and put it on the 70 elders. And as soon as the Spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but they did not continue doing it. Now 2 men remained in the camp, one named Eldad, and the other Medad, and the Spirit rested on them. They were among those registered, but they had not gone out to the tent, so they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and told Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And Joshua, the son of Nun, the assistant of Moses from his youth, said, My lord, Moses, stop them. But Moses said to him, Are you jealous for my sake? Would that all the Lord's people were prophets, that the Lord would put his Spirit on them. And Moses and the elders of Israel returned to the camp. Then a wind from the Lord sprang up, and it brought quail from the sea, and let them fall beside the camp. about a day's journey on this side and a day's journey on the other side, around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the ground. And the people rose all that day and all night and all the next day and gathered the quail. Those who gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. While the meat was yet between their teeth, before it was consumed, the anger of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord struck down the people with a very great plague. Therefore the name of that place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, because they were there they buried the people who had the craving. From Kibroth Hattaavah the people journeyed to Hazeroth, and they remained at Hazeroth. Dale Carnegie said, "Don't criticize, condemn, or complain." Zig Ziglar said, "Have an attitude of gratitude, and you will have more to be grateful for. Have a complaining spirit, and you will attract more to complain about." Or how about Napoleon Hill? "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade and sell it to all those who get thirsty from complaining." Those are 3 quotes from 3 of the most well-known motivational speakers of the 20th century. I can rattle off many more quotes on complaining and its effects. It seems that we have come to the conclusion by relatively intelligent people who speak to the masses that negative thinking is fruitless and that gratefulness is a win-win situation. So why are people still complaining? Well, bear with me, and I'd like to spend the next 5 minutes or so complaining about it. If you sit down and talk to leaders and ask them what the most trying aspects of their work, you might find a common thread woven in among their answers. It's not always the challenge of the economy or money problems or marketing the product, whatever it might be, or the problem solving in it. You'll likely find that it is the negative people and the complaining within the company. That will wear them down as fast as anything that challenges them. One author calls it stinkin' thinkin'. Oh yeah, and back to those things to complain about. Number 1. Nope. Stop right there. In this world of the wonderful, fabulous, incredible blessings, they far outnumber the petty things we might choose to derail our grateful praise. So we're going to end this little rant before it begins. For a moment, put yourself in Moses' place, leading the children of Israel. Sure, you've spent 40 years herding stubborn, stupid, simple-minded sheep. Did it prepare you for this? Well, you'd think so. You've proved over and over that God is in control and that you might think that that would be convincing to the people. But it isn't. You have a people that were freed from bondage and oppressive slavery, and as a bonus, they gave you their riches as you were leaving the land. That would surely seal the deal. Nope, and nope. They just keep complaining, wearing you down. God gives them water to drink in a dry land. He gives them manna to eat. And still they murmur and complain. Now they wish they were back in Egypt. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt. It cost us nothing. The cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. Now our own strength is dried up, and there's nothing at all but this manna to look at. Moses can't help but take it personally. After all, he went before their leaders and convinced them to leave Egypt. When Moses can take it no more, he takes it to the Lord. Verses 11-12 we read, "Why have you dealt ill with your servant? And why have I not found favor in your sight that you lay the burden of all this people on me? Did I conceive this people? Did I give them birth that you should say to me, carry them in your bosom as a nurse carries a nursing child to the land that you swore to give their fathers?" The Lord hears Moses' complaint and decides that others can share his burden and takes a spear from Moses and spreads it among 70 others. Joshua perhaps jealous that others were sharing in what Moses had, begs Moses to stop them. Moses makes a statement that many a leader wishes for those who lack the vision to see beyond the momentary troubles that surround him. Are you jealous for my sake? He told him. Would that all the Lord's people were prophets, that the Lord would put his Spirit on them. That would make a leader's walk so much easier if those under them could catch the vision, so to speak. Over and over, we'll see the Israelites engage in stinking thinking, complaining about water, food, meat, leadership, the long journey. They will constantly challenge Moses. But in reality, they're putting God to the test. But God had told them in Deuteronomy 6:16, "You shall not put the Lord your God to the test, as you tested him at Massah." The writer of Hebrews reminds us of that very thing in Hebrews 3, verses 7 and 8. Therefore, as the Holy Spirit says, "Today if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as in the rebellion, on the day of testing in the wilderness." Oh, and that list of complaints I was going to tell you about. Have you got time for that? No? How about some gratefulness? Now that's the Spirit. And Lord willing, let's meet here again tomorrow for another amazing chapter in the Bible.